right, what's up everybody? So today I'm here with Michael Johnson with Trust Home Builders out here in Lake Las Vegas. If you guys don't know who Mike is, we literally just did a collaboration together here in Lake Las Vegas. I'm gonna have a link in the description below with that property. Michael, what's going on with this property here?
Thanks for coming out again. Always good to see you. Yep. So this is one I've got under construction. I did this as a spec home, but I have a buyer for it already. So we're under contract and we'll close as soon as it's done, just like a tract builder would. So I listed it when we were at slab, and that allowed the buyer some time to make some changes. Supposed to be some textural and minor changes, but I ended up letting him do some kind of structural things that normally a tract builder wouldn't do, right? Because they have that kind of flexibility.
So originally you built this, you were going to sell it, but then a buyer came in.
So my plan was I bought this lot last year in July 2020. I liked the location. I like that it's on a corner. You've got a decent little mountain view there. You're elevated from the people behind you. This is a cul-de-sac, so not a lot of traffic. So I was just drawn to this lot. I knew I wanted to put a spec on it. I just wasn't sure what kind of home I wanted to put on it. So after speaking with the HOA, this is one of the few lots in Lake Las Vegas, or in South Shore rather, that requires single story. So by the time you factor in, it's got to be single story. You look at all your setbacks, you factor in a 3-car garage, you're limited to about 3,000 square feet, which is exactly what I have on this. I have 3,005
and how many bedrooms
square
on
feet.
this one?
So we've got 4 bedrooms, 2 owner suites, or an owner suite, and then a kind of a secondary owner suite. We've got 3-car garage. We're on a little over a 1/4 acre. Obviously, like I mentioned, we're on a corner. So I'll just take you through. Obviously, we leveled all this out and made a nice building pad here. Was able to keep a lot of the HOA trees. I wanted that, built-in canopy. These have been here for 20 years. Why tear them down?
So what is your plans for here?
So here it'll be a pathway leading from the courtyard, and then there will be basically the 2x2 step stones, but really close together. So it'll live like a sidewalk, but it won't be a boring sidewalk, right? It'll be not quite paver, but not quite just straight concrete. Got it. So, and add some landscaping up here as well.
Now on the exterior right here, what are you actually doing? What type of stucco finishings are you doing?
So this will be a really tight, really smooth, but not smooth stucco. So it'll be just a really tight finish like we saw at Rudeville. That type. There's quite a few examples around the neighborhood that have that look, true Tuscan look. So
you're gonna have some veneer stones too as well?
Yeah, we'll have stone up to here. We'll have stone up in this vestibule area. And then there will be some other finish work with stucco, basically. So it'll be like the ledges and the framing around the windows and things like that. It'll be in a contrast color.
Also, what I noticed, you put some lights on the outside of these eaves, which is really nice.
You did a ton of lights on all the eaves. You can see, and there's still more that are slated for that. But there's no section of roof that doesn't have at least a light. So I wanted down lighting on all the front, especially. And then I'll show you in the back. We did some additional lighting in there. So we're coming in. There'll be an iron gate here. This is just like a 14 by 14 courtyard. This is going to be pavers, some natural elements. Not really a ton of functionality here because we've got a lot of doors.
So how do you come up with these floor plans and designs? Like, where's the inspiration coming from?
It's a lot of times something I've seen, right? I mean, I've been in the business for 15 years, so there's not much that I haven't seen. You've been in the business a similar amount of time. There's not much we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of inspiration, and we've seen what we don't like. And then with a spec home like this that you're intending to sell, you kind of become a mini focus group, just thinking, okay, think back to all the buyers I've had over the last 15 years. What's my target demographic? What's my target price point? What does that buyer look for in 2021? And that's where I kind of came up with this and then kind of modified that from there. So I rough sketch, look at it, walk the lot, rough sketch, walk it, a lot of iterations. And then finally you kind of settle on one. And it's this. It's really close to my original design that I drew on 8.5 by 11 with a mechanical pencil. So
what are we coming into right now?
So we kind of walk through this main entryway. We're coming into the great room. So what you're seeing here, this will eventually be the dining room. You can visualize here with the fireplace. This is the great room. Tons and tons of can lights. This is 72-inch gas Primo fireplace. And we did the mantle, the hearth all the way around.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll do this in a quartz. And then this will just be a drywall, but most likely in an accent color.
What type of finishings are you doing on the drywall?
So this will be it'll be a smooth finish, kind of like what you might call like a Santa Fe finish. So it's not the flat look that you might see on the East Coast, but it's not the orange peel.
There's a little bit of texture to it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of texture, so it'll have a high-end feel to it. And obviously there's a cost with that, but it just, to me, when you're doing custom and you're in this price point, it's something that is really hard to do after the fact and somewhat easy to do during.
So is this getting cladded too as well?
So we're going to keep this, so because this is pending with a buyer, I'm going to let him do a lot of the design finishes above and beyond what I already have slated for, like the hard finishes, right? The stones and things like that. If he wants to clad this, I did put him in contact with my designer, so I know she's doing some stuff that he'll handle after the fact, but I envision this being cladded in something. But yeah, I really knew I wanted the linear fireplace here, and I wanted it framed with windows on each side. It's hard for the camera to get it, but there you can see a good portion of Lake Las Vegas, the community, not necessarily the lake, but you've got the gorgeous mountain views.
It's more open. It's just
open.
not,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're in a swell, right? You're not kind of surrounded by all sides. One thing I did allow the buyer to do is upgrade this window. So this was just going to be a window roughly this size.
Okay.
And now that he did it, I am really glad that we went ahead and did it and added these 2 windows on either side. I feel that sometimes on paper, no matter how many times you do this, you do miss opportunities. And now that I see it, it's hard to imagine that.
So I want you guys to understand this. When you guys are actually building with Michael, right? Let's just say he's already started the project. You still have the opportunity to come in and change a few things, right?
Yeah, so it's a fine line we walk, right? I don't want to list it until it's close enough to where I can have a predictable timeline because then it's going to turn off some buyers and then they might as well just do custom. So I want to get it going. I want to get it through the HOA. The HOA approval process is very onerous out here. It's about a 4-month process, many meetings back and forth with them. And then it goes to their architect, which is another 6 weeks out before he'll cross-reference the plan with what's in the books. The books, by the way, were written 30 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
HOA, South Shore was originally conceived. Those guidelines are 30 years old. So we're working off of really somewhat dated. So all the new builders over here are trying to push the envelope in South Shore because the buyer doesn't want a 30-year-old home.
Yeah, exactly.
They wouldn't be buying new construction if they did. So that's the fine line we walk. So I try to get it listed when we go to slab. There's a lot we can still do once it goes to slab, as long as we go to contract within maybe a week or 2 of that, which we did on this home. We had multiple offers. We had a lot of interest. So I was able to get it under contract within 3 or 4 days of listing it.
Nice.
With that, the slab had just been poured. All he wanted to do was add some doors, which I was happy to accommodate. We had already ordered all the lumber. We had already ordered all the doors and windows. But if it's something I can accommodate, made some phone calls, was able to accommodate him. And he, of course, was very happy. Because to do these things after the fact would be very, very costly.
Let's talk about the ceiling heights.
So we're at 10 feet across the board, a 10-foot lid. And then we set all the header heights at 96 inches. So that means all your sliders are 96 inches, and then the interior doors are 96 inches as well.
Now, last week we were supposed to do some filming, but we couldn't do that because they did the spray and installation, right, the foam.
That's right.
What's the difference between spraying this in the attic versus doing a radiant barrier with a thicker insulation?
Right, and honestly, the difference between a radiant barrier with maybe an R34 or something, a really high R value, batten insulation, it's a minuscule difference. It definitely is not miles apart. But what we wanted to do here, and this was buyer driven because I would have just done it that way, he wanted cocoon. So the cocoon we insulate all the way up to the ridge, and it creates an ambient temperature in the attic in a hot day like this in August of about 80, 84 degrees. So then we're only cooling down to 74.
Got it.
With that, we had to change the HVAC. Has to be 95% fresh air. Because it's not drawing from anything. It's drawing from all the interior attic space.
Now, are you going to pressure test the home too as well as far as the efficiency? You know how like they have like Hertz ratings? Certain builders will do that. Is that something that you guys would do?
Because we're not going to replicate this home time and time again, I don't have a desire to get a HERS rating on it or an Energy Star rating on it. If the buyer chooses to, absolutely. It should pass with flying colors because it's really tight.
What is this right here? Because obviously we're in the kitchen right here.
Yeah, we're in the kitchen. So we're standing where Rudy is right now. We're standing in the island. So you can kind of orient yourself, the island. Hey, that's my roofer.
Hey, what's going on, roofer?
Are you okay to eavesdrop while we do the video?
Yeah, no,
kind of doing a walkthrough?
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, so amazing roofer. So it really is.
We may have to interview him one day.
We're gonna interview him one day because he does everything from new construction. If you have a couple of tiles that are, he does it all.
Oh, that's good.
He's a really good guy.
Doghouse. We'll do anything from a doghouse to one of his houses.
Right.
Michael's got the best houses. We'll do a doghouse as well.
Well, I end up in the doghouse at the time, so Can you go ahead and get started on that?
So let's talk about this. You said that you're going to have cabinets from floor to ceiling, right?
Yeah, so these are full bank of cabinets, full height. They're not going to go, they are going to go to the ceiling. And they're going to be a matte black finish in European style full overlay doors.
Ooh, nice.
So super high quality, really, really neat look.
What's the brand on it?
It's by Element Cabinets.
Okay.
I can't remember who the manufacturer is, but Nick Cox over at Element Cabinets does almost all my cabinets. Okay. Especially for this price point. So within this bank here, we're going to do 2 30-inch Thermador stacks.
Nice.
One refrigerator, just like we saw at 6 Rue de Ville. One refrigerator, one freezer, wine refrigerator as well, and then a Miele espresso maker.
Nice. I love this. Look how wide this is going to be. This is going to be gorgeous.
Exactly. You can imagine full wall of cabinets.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it'd be pretty. So right here, island, dish cut, very similar to Rue de Ville, except the sink will be here, and then the dishwasher as well. And then on this side, we're going to run cabinets, break them with a 48-inch range, Thermador range. Another run of cabinets kind of symmetrical to this, and then over here in this 72-inch void that will end with the cabinets, we're going to have, it's like a hybrid between a room and a cabinet. So it's going to look like a room, kind of live like a room, but it's actually going to be a cabinet. And the purpose of that will be for wine storage. It has its own split for HVAC, so it'll have its own ambient temperature that you can control via remote, and then a full glass wall.
Got it.
So it'll be really striking. The buyer has yet to decide what he wants on the back wall, but I was picturing a brick. That's kind of what I slated for that room. Yeah. Like a nice, like a brick veneer to kind of make it feel like a wine cellar.
Yeah. Let's talk about this slide here. How big is this slide?
Yeah, so this slide, we're a 12-foot slide. I did everything in the home in black.
Okay. Why did you go with that black?
I think it's a higher end feel than the white vinyl.
That's what I'm thinking. And but are these vinyl too? Or?
These are actually vinyl.
Oh, wow.
But they're black. These are like Marvin windows. So this is actually aluminum, I'm sorry, but the windows themselves are vinyl. Okay. They're just black vinyl. And it's a lot more expensive. Yeah. It's not as expensive as going full aluminum, but it's a lot more expensive. But to me, when the home is done, again, just like having that extra window there, it's hard to imagine it without it. It's hard to unsee it. Once you see it, you can't imagine it with a white vinyl or an ivory window frame. So covered patio here. Covered patio. So this is one of the included features that I had slated. But what he has added are misters, and he's added a pool. Okay. So we're going to have a 55-foot pool that goes from that red line there to 55 feet off that red line, which is roughly where that red line is. Okay. And it's going to hug this courtyard. Okay. So it's going to look like a U, but a really truncated U. Got it. And then it'll look out, we'll have some fire bowls and a water feature, sheer descent, and then it'll kind of take advantage of that hillside. And how big is this lot actually? We're 11,000 square foot lot. Okay. Corner lot, almost a quarter acre. It's a really special lot. You can see kind of why I was drawn to it. Yeah. Because out here in South Shore, these are becoming harder and harder to find. Okay, so we're back into the kitchen. Okay, so I noticed that you mentioned earlier you separated the rooms, right? I did. So I kind of created wings. This is a junior owner suite. That's a 2-bedroom Jack and Jill combo on that wing. I pictured one for guests, one for office. 2 for kids. I mean, however you'd use that, I wanted to separate it from the master. Okay. And this is also the least usable piece of the lot because this has the slope on the other side. Okay. So in terms of outdoor living, it won't be able to feed into any outdoor living except the courtyard. So I figured let's load the secondary bedrooms over here. So this is going to be what, more your office, or is this going to be designated as a room? Is that what they're making it? So the buyer's going to use it as an office. Okay. And we went ahead and framed for a window. We're going to add another window in here after we close. But because the HOA approved the exterior as it is back in November, have to do it after the fact. Otherwise, it's another 2 or 3 month approval process. So it looks like we got the closet here. Yep. You got your TV over here. So he wanted to have me pre-wire it for a mounted TV, take advantage of this view from working at home, right? And then have the Jack and Jill bath as well. So right in back of Rudy right here, we actually have the Jack and Jill. Yep. And let's talk about this Jack and Jill here because we have 2 sinks. Yep. You mentioned that you're going to have some floating vanities, right? Yeah, so this is 96 inches of cabinets. They're all going to float. It's going to be a large sink base, a huge bank of drawers, and a large sink base here. Are you doing LED lights underneath as well? LED lights underneath it. It's going to have a very modern feel. Okay. And that's all buyer-driven. Those are things that I let him decide. That's cool. And I just send him right to the cabinet guy. So there's no there's all transparency, right? There's nothing hidden. There's no surprises. Go talk to the cabinet guy. Whatever you want to do, if we can do it, we're going to do it.
Okay.
Right? So I have a certain cabinet budget. You get a credit for that when you go talk to my guy,
Anything
Nick.
above it?
Anything above it, you pay. It's not veiled. I don't control the process.
Yeah.
I send you, get whatever you want, because this is your home, right? You're not in my ecosystem. You'll have my connections and my buying power, but you're not going to be stuck with a design center.
So let's talk about this bathroom here. This is a 3/4 bath, and it looks like when I came here, you guys started to drill this.
Yeah.
Why did you guys drill the floor plan? I mean, the pan.
It was something that the buyer wanted, and I was able to accommodate. He wanted a 0 threshold shower in all showers, and I was able to accommodate it. That means we had to go bring our jackhammers in and jackhammer this out.
Got it.
So not something easy to accommodate, but because I wanted to. And then whatever flooring product we're doing in here, which I believe he's actually just chosen recently, we're going to take the small squares for the 0 threshold. So it'll be really uniform.
Walk us into this bedroom. What size is this bedroom? And what is this going to be used for?
This is 16 by 12. And I believe this is going to be his guest bedroom.
Okay.
Yep. So it faces the front of the house. It has access to the courtyard. So for
I like
guests,
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's an entertainer. He's a lot of out-of-state people coming and going, so he wanted access to the courtyard.
Was this the original design when you did the floor plan?
So this is another thing I accommodated.
That's really nice, just to the fact that if you do have guests, they have their own entry through the courtyard versus stumbling through the house.
Exactly, so they can have that kind of privacy, you know, without having to.
So it looks like your TV entertainment center is going to go here.
Yep, so mounted everything on here for him, so he's able to just plug his TV right in. These are little peekaboo windows. They're covered up right now because we'll be doing the stucco, but it's going to have a lot of light coming in.
Now, when you originally designed this home, when you were running the electrical, I see the 4-can lighting here.
Right.
Is this something that you did, and was this a part of that bid, or he came in after and said add the 4-can lighting?
So lighting is huge to me, so I never do a home that I'm not proud of the lighting.
Remember that. Lighting is huge.
Lighting's everything.
We always talk about that, guys, especially with a home this size.
You know when you walk through a model and then you walk into the production home and you can't exactly tell, obviously there's a lot of finishes and stuff, but it's really the lighting.
No, it is.
It's a huge, no matter, you can't decorate your way out of bad lighting.
And what I noticed, a lot of buyers, they will cut their costs. In the first place where they cut their costs is actually the lighting.
Yep.
It amazes me how they do that.
Exactly. And we're talking each line item is in the hundreds, not thousands.
Yeah.
It's a really high impact spend, and it's not a huge percentage of the budget.
So we're coming back down this hallway here. We're going to head back down to this main hallway.
Yep. So we've got a closet here. This is kind of linen for the Jack and Jill.
Okay.
Coat closet here. We did a custom pivot 42-inch iron door.
Okay.
Yep. Really, really nice door.
Was that the original or after?
I let him upgrade.
Okay.
Yep. Happy to oblige on that. Very easy to do. We just had to widen the opening.
So here's the half bath. What are we doing here with the half bath? We have the toilet, the sink. Are we doing a cabinet or are we doing
It'll be a floating vanity.
Okay.
Yep. So it'll match that Jack and Jill, just it'll be a smaller version.
Okay. LED lights, nice.
LED, matte black.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're kind of coming down the hallway here. This leads us back to the kitchen with the pantry. This is kind of the back utility area. You come in from the garage, and you have access to the laundry room with a sink. Right here we have the 2-car garage. The 1-car garage is on its own with access to the courtyard. Okay. So this is kind of your everyday entrance, right?
Yeah. So what is this area right here?
So here we're coming into the junior owner suite.
Okay.
So it's got its own access to the courtyard. Another thing we upgraded, this would have just been a regular window. Okay. But he really, really wanted access.
That's such a great idea to have that.
It is.
Very beneficial.
Right, exactly. So again, something kind of somewhat easy to accommodate now, very hard to do after the fact. So this is a 12 by 22 junior master. This really has
it's pretty large
multi-uses, right? This could be bedroom, lounge. You could see somebody actually living here, multi-generational.
So we got the bathroom again,
jackhammering this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
0 threshold again, so it's probably going to mirror the other ones?
It'll look just like it, yeah. A walk-in closet.
Okay.
So I really like this aspect of this floor plan, so I'll probably put something very similar to this in the Northwest, or I'm looking for other land. I'm redesigning it with a pop-up. I'm going to put that out here in South Shore as well. I really love this aspect of it.
Yeah.
The great room area, I see that in a lot of homes, but the fact that this has direct access to the courtyard and is a full suite, I think is a huge selling point.
So let's go into the garage here, because this is actually a 3-car garage, not a 2-car garage.
So it's 2-car, and then the 1-car is over there.
Okay.
So we're going to do 2 tankless water heaters. It does have an access door to the side, water softener loop, and we're going to put the water softener in for him. Another thing I like in here that can't be understated, when you have 10-foot lid, the garage is 10 feet too,
Yeah.
or it's like really it ends up being like 10 and a half. So if you're doing the hanging storage, or if you have a high, big truck or something,
Yeah.
And then upgrade the 8-foot door, the 8-foot garage door as well. I think this is it. This is a must.
Okay.
Hard to imagine a garage.
Now, as far as like power for Tesla or anything like that with those electric cars, are you adding that too as well?
right there, that's our conduit for the 220. So it'll be ready to go with the Tesla charging station.
Got it.
Yep.
I noticed we have 2 condensers too as well.
Right.
What type of air conditioning units do we have?
So we have 2 condensers with 3 zones plus the zone for the wine room.
Okay, nice.
So the junior master is on its own zone. The wing with the bedrooms is on its own zone. I'm sorry, the master and the junior master are on their own zone. The great room's on a zone. The bedroom wing's on a zone, and then the wine chiller has its own zone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it should be pretty well balanced, the airflow.
So this is the laundry room that
Come
you
in
were talking
here,
about.
Laundry, washer, dryer, hookups are here.
Okay.
And we'll start a cabinet that will end 60 inches off that wall. That's the 2 appliances together, make 60. And then you'll have a small L and then a sink.
Okay.
And this is something I always leave empty from the standard.
Yeah.
And then let them do whatever they want to do.
Got it.
Had I not found a buyer, this is something I will always upgrade though before I finish the home.
Oh, really?
I would never turn it over without.
Now
this
let's
finished
talk
off.
about the interior walls. Is this getting insulated with batten too, or are you just going to leave it
funny
open?
you should ask. Something that was very, very important for this buyer.
Yeah.
He is going to have multi-generations living with him.
Yeah.
So we're soundproofing all rooms and doing solid core doors. So especially this junior owner suite, a secondary, that'll have all insulation, all soundproofing. This will have all soundproofing. Office will be soundproofed.
Okay.
So yeah, it is going to have a feel of a very, very, very high-end home.
So obviously this is a primary with a 9-foot
Yep.
slide?
Yep, we've got a 9-foot slide here, 8 feet tall. It's going to be 3 panels.
Okay.
And what you're looking at right here will one day, hopefully, in a short period of time, be the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have the spa here, kind of have a 0 waterfall. You've seen where it doesn't really have a sheer descent, but it has that, it's kind of continuous.
Yeah.
So hot tub there, and we're going to do an outdoor kitchen on that side of the house.
Nice.
Yep. And an outdoor shower as well.
So how big is this room right here?
This room is 14 feet wide by 18 feet long.
Okay.
So that secondary is almost the size of this. Obviously the bathroom and the closets are smaller, but
Okay.
yeah, this is a great.
Now
this is a great
the
master.
slab here, is this a post-tension slab?
This is a post-tension slab. We did have to bust out here for the shower.
Yeah.
because we're doing what you see here is the outline of what will be the shower. So this will be 0 threshold glass. It is a steam shower, so we had to frame down the soffit.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So we'll have steam capabilities, 0 threshold, full glass. It is going to be a really.
Where's your entry?
Really
Is
nice
it from
one.
here or here?
So we're going to have the entryway right here.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of wanted it away from the main traffic flow of the bathroom.
This is a pretty big soapbox you got here.
It's a big. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything about this shower is big. I mean, it's a big soap niche. It's a big floor space and a lot of glass.
Okay.
It's nice.
So let's talk about this because this is where your sink is going to go, right?
Yep.
And you have another one here, it looks like?
Yep. 2 sinks.
Okay.
Separated by a freestanding tub.
Okay.
That's all. I always include a freestanding tub.
Okay.
Especially over a certain price point.
Now, when you say
Freestanding tub.
freestanding tub, is this going to be literally attached to the wall or literally separated?
It is going to be a true freestanding tub,
Okay.
and it'll sit diagonally in this space, and it'll live right here.
I take it's going to be a rectangle?
Yeah, it'll be a rounded off rectangle.
Okay. And that's probably going to just be a fiberglass tub, right?
Yeah, so it'll be acrylic.
Okay.
The buyer will specify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that I'm going to let him decide.
So from here, are we doing, what are we doing up here? Just glass?
Yeah, so it'll be, he's yet to decide what kind of mirrors he wants, but we do have the sink going right here, so I'm picturing a framed mirror. If I were building it to my specifications, as if I didn't have a buyer, I would do a 1 framed mirror right here.
Okay.
And then the vanity is going to go all the way here and then end in a full height vanity.
Got it. And what's going right here?
So this will basically be your linens. It'll be a
Okay.
full height cabinet.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And then all this will be floating. So kind of your main sink here and then a slightly smaller sink over here in vanity, like a 60-inch and a 72 plus the full height.
Then we have our water closet
closet right here.
And then the primary closet. How
Yep.
big is this closet here?
Gosh, you know what? I think this is 8 wide by 12 long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we doing any custom cabinets in here? And who's the builder for
I've turned him over. I think he's going to probably end up going with like an Inspired Closets or Closets of Las Vegas or something. You know, he's still kind of working on that. I try to let the buyer have as much flexibility with that as possible.
Yeah.
That's something that's, to me, I think, deeply customizable, and he
so
should have full
if
authority.
the owner of this property is watching this video right now, you got to check out Closets of Las Vegas, my girl Pat. I'm hooking her up right now.
Nice plug.
Why is this community so desirable right now?
So just like the last video we made, this is in South Shore, so it's a country club. It's got a private golf course. It's got lake access. It has a clubhouse and another smaller clubhouse, guard gated. It is really one of the last places in Las Vegas in a country club where you can build custom and be under $5 million.
Wow.
Right. So the vast majority of these in here are going to be probably in that $2 to $4 million range.
Okay.
So it's very hard to find these, as you know. It's very hard to find these opportunities in Las Vegas anymore, where you can build your own custom home.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you're looking for more land. You're possibly building out northwest. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I am working on some parcels on the northwest.
Yeah.
Also some non-guard gated parcels in Henderson. Actually going by there later today to check it out. There's a lot of due diligence that comes when you buy in a non-planned community. So this is all South Shore. This is all planned. I've done a couple other projects in the northwest that were also in planned communities.
Yeah.
Those are a lot more cut and dry. Your utilities are generally there. Soils reports are readily available for the most part. They might just need an update. And you have guidelines of which to build.
Okay.
When you buy an unrestricted land, everything's up in the air. Utility situation, drainage studies, soils reports, a lot of that it's a lot trickier when you're building in a non-community, but there's that buyer segment that wants the non-HOA or wants, low HOA restrictions or more land. It's hard to get a half acre here, whereas it's somewhat easier for the same price as what you could buy a quarter acre here. You can buy a half acre or more in the northwest or in a non-gated section of Henderson. So there's an appeal there, and it makes it worth the juice is worth the squeeze. It's just you have to be really careful before you go to contract.
Now, if somebody came to you and said, "Look, I want to buy a home, right? I want to build a custom home with you.
Yep.
I also want to make sure there's some sort of add value as well." How would you actually guide your clients as far as finding the land, and how do you prep them, or how do you get that process started?
So I think the most important thing is what do they want, and then what are their goals for the home. So I do have some clients that intend to build and then sell. They have no intention of ever living in the home. They're basically acting as an investor.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to project manage those because I do it already for myself. So if that's your intention, we're going to have a slightly different lens, especially if they don't have a real estate background. I've helped them to decide what's the target market for that product, and what are we going to be shooting for in that area, and what's hot right now, and what's going to be hot in a year when we finish it. So we work backwards from there. If you're looking to own or occupy it, but want to keep an eye on equity and want to keep an eye on your investment, I think it's still very important to look at what you want, though. That should never be overridden by what is the best, turnaround or ROI. So once we get going, once we go vertical, we can do them in 5 months.
Okay.
So this has a lot of customization, and we're still probably going to hit our 5.5 month window.
Oh, that's good.
Doing the pool. So it's doable. I shake my fists at local jurisdictions. I shake my fists at HOAs because they add a lot of time.
Okay.
And people don't really talk to each other as much, especially if you have Public Works working on it and the Energy working on it. They don't really communicate that well.
Yeah.
So you're playing intermediary, right? Cool. You're kind of playing referee.
Now, guys, if you guys want more information about this home builder, Michael, he's I don't even want to say pretty good. He's really good at what he does. I'm going to have his contact information in the link in the description below. Now, if you guys have not had a chance to subscribe to this channel, click that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Also, help us out with the algorithm. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a likes. Other than that, until next time, peace.